we have a can-do attitude. Sure, we see the sun 3 times a year in the city because our weather's terrible. But you know what? We cherish those 3 times a year that we see the sun. We really don't take many things for granted in this town. And I think that's significant. I think that's a little bit important. I think that sets Cleveland apart from everyone else. Just a little bit. And not only that, I do think that many people, even people in our own city, Cleveland, overlook some of Cleveland's greatest assets. For one, we have possibly the best hospitals in the country. Cleveland Clinic, certainly. Many foreign diplomats come here for their care. Metro Health Medical Center, a Trauma One institution right here in the center of Cleveland. University Hospital. These are great hospitals, great medical facilities, famous medical facilities, world-famous medical facilities. So I think that's certainly a feather in Cleveland's cap. Also, we're a great center for the arts. Our art museum is pretty damn good. I had the opportunity to see Cincinnati's art museum a while ago, and while I certainly enjoyed it, props to Cincinnati, I do have to say the art museum there is a tad bit small. The artwork they have is great. I love the mummy section with the live, well, not, I guess, dead, but the real mummy. But it was a little bit tiny. There wasn't enough room in there. Cleveland's art museum, not so. We actually do have a pretty sizable art museum, a pretty great collection. Our armor court is fantastic. So certainly we have that going for us. Our Natural History Museum, awesome. Cleveland Cinematheque and the Cedar Lee, 2 fairly locally famous movie houses. Cleveland Institute of Art, Severance Hall, Cleveland Orchestra, world famous. So we are a great center for the arts. Not only that, but it seems as though Hollywood's actually recognizing Cleveland's potential lately too. In addition to Charlie Sheen coming here, we are actually allowing, probably more along the lines of begging, and they're actually going to do it, we are having the company that's producing the Avengers, the Marvel Comics property, come into Cleveland and film here. They are going to be filming in Cleveland. So maybe things are looking up. Maybe LeBron James isn't so much a black cloud over us anymore, after all. Hopefully it's not. A lot of good things in Cleveland, just to recap. Oh, and one thing I forgot. Cleveland is the birthplace of Superman. Always has been, always will be. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, on a hot summer evening in the 1930s, invented Superman, built Superman, created the Man of Steel right here in Cleveland. World famous icon right here. Why we don't have a Superman museum yet is beyond me, but that's another topic for another time. Moving on, Ape Kill Snake. Again, thank you for being my Jiminy Cricket, and hopefully this will not disappoint you. I find it interesting you mentioned the Bilderberg Group. Conspiracy theories, admittedly, and secret societies, rather, are one area on which I'm not the most knowledgeable. Certainly the Bilderberg Group is one of those that I'm less knowledgeable on. I do find it interesting that they're sort of treated as political bookers, as bookers sort of call wrestling matches. Basically, the idea behind the Bilderberg Group, for those who don't really know, is all of the world's political agendas are decided in the Netherlands about once a year, maybe once every 2 or 3 years. Everyone, bankers, politicians, world leaders, meet there and decide what's going to happen in the world. Wars are decided, wars are begun there, wars end there. Pretty much everything is fixed, and it all happens at the Bilderberg Group. And maybe there is something to it. The problem with conspiracy theories and secret societies is that I'm always torn on which documents are credible and which are not. Because secret societies are just that. They're secret. Everything about them is, by and large, hidden. So I'm always very cautious when reading anything about them, because some information may be a great deal of embellishment. as Freud said, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Or maybe the reality truly is stranger than fiction. So, I mean, Bilderberg Group, Bohemian Grove. I know you're a person from the UK. Perhaps you have heard of our famous Bohemian Grove, where our presidents and politicians meet to supposedly sacrifice children to the demon Moloch. There are several reasons why I find that particularly strange. Not just because it's child sacrifice, but the details are a little disjointed. Anyway, that's another thing that we can get to later. I do want to thank you for the comment, though, and thank you for mentioning the Bilderberg Group. I don't think many people, or enough people rather, take an interest in those sorts of things. So I'll get to a video on that stuff later on. And finally, super awesome film. I appreciate your comments. I thank you for thinking that my review is good enough that I should make more. And indeed I will. I'm actually working on something right now that Abe Killsnake might be very interested in, since he is from the UK. The National Theatre actually is putting on 2 performances of Frankenstein, starring Benedict Cumberbatch and Johnny Lee Miller, both in alternating roles of the monster and Victor Frankenstein the Doctor. And I happened to see one performance on Sunday with Benedict Cumberbatch as the monster and Johnny Lee Miller as Victor. And tomorrow night I will be seeing the switched performance with Benedict Cumberbatch as the Doctor and Johnny Lee Miller as the monster. So once I see that, I'll digest it for a few days and then I'll put up a review of that. By and large, I do want to thank everyone. Oh, I almost forgot. JGIDD, JGID. Nice review. Thank you. Alright, that's it. I think I covered everyone. So, again, thank you all for your reviews, both positive and negative. And I will get back to reviewing, and I'll see you folks in a few days. Thank you again.